The Education Committee, so Mr. Kendall's here, I thank you, sir, and Councilor Hurt is here. All right, very good. So we have a quorum now, so we'll try to move as quickly as possible. First is BL 2018-1372, sponsor O'Connell, Vercher, and Bednay, and authorizes Metro government to purchase certain property from the state of Tennessee located at 88 Hermitage Avenue. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
All right, so we have a motion and second. Any discussion?
A motion was made to withdraw in planning and zoning.
Is that right?
I don't.
1370 for 88.
1372 was a motion to withdraw.
For
Okay,
88 Hermitage.
it was. Okay, thank you. So,
What's up with that?
The sponsor, Councilmember O'Connell, indicated that he wanted to have more discussion with MDHA with regard to an adjacent parcel that would be required, and that probably a new piece of legislation would be filed.
Okay.
okay. Cool. So with that, my assumption would be, if we want to tell me what you think is appropriate, Mr. Jameson, should we?
You could offer no recommendation, understanding that it will be withdrawn.
All right, let's then I'm going to recommend that we don't make a recommendation. Is everybody okay with that?
Yeah. Sure.
All right, very good. All in favor of no recommendation?
Aye.
All right, very good, thank you. Okay. RS 2019-1622, Vercher and Glover, approves a grant from the Metro government to the United Way of Metro Nashville to provide pre-kindergarten services to advanced high-quality early education practices as key levers for early student success and literacy attainment. All right. Second, okay. Any discussion?
How much is it?
I don't have the, I don't remember.
It's 340,000.
Good. No other discussion? All right, very good. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, opposed? Okay, very good. Next, and I think we've got, we have a letter from Councilman Hastings on this. This is BL 2019-1476, declares surplus and approves the disposition of a parcel of real property known as Brick Church Pike. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Okay, and second. All right, any discussion?
What's the letter from the sponsor request?
All right. Let's see. I'm unable to attend. I'm asking that in my absence, the above legislation be approved.
This, speaking only for myself, this is one that I really struggle with. I've had a lot of constituents about, a lot of community members. Obviously, schools are in a pinch, and including for the current fiscal year budget. Having heard of what I would call horror stories about Metro selling parcels and not getting anywhere close to what they're appraised for, and looking at the great features of this particular property, and my belief that we similarly would not recognize that amount of revenue. I just feel like the sale of this property doesn't get us anywhere close to meeting that gap for the schools, as much as I'm empathetic to that. And so I'm not willing to support this ordinance. What I would like to know, and that's what I referenced last time at the last meeting, what I would like to know more about is how we actually would go about conveying this to parks. I would be interested in, would the parks be able to acquire it through their land acquisition fund? I've also reached out to some community members to see if maybe a land trust would purchase it at something, so that we can make sure that it's maintained as open space another way and still get some revenue to schools. But I'm not willing to support this ordinance for this particular property at this time.
Let me ask you a question, Mike. This is just the school system abandoning, in essence, saying they have no use for it. This is not selling it, right?
It's not selling it yet, but once.
I mean, it still belongs to the city, and the city can do whatever it wants with it. It can keep it, sell it. I mean, this doesn't require us to sell it, right?
Well, we would be authorizing the Director of Public Property to proceed with the sale.
Okay.
How much do we think it's appraised and what will we get? Or what is schools expect, MNPS expecting, or
The appraisal was like 720,000.
750?
And I know there are we have some conflicting information even from community members about that. I mean, for me, that's kind of what it comes down to for me is I would,
And it's not a big lot as far as I understand. And it's not
relatively
really
small.
much that can be done with the property, but then you never know. I mean, they putting, 5 or 6 houses on one lot that used to be one house. So, you never know how innovative and ingenious people may and creative that they can become. But I'm too like Councilman Withers. This has been one of those situations where the community again is completely against it. We've been hearing back and forth. I've just been on a roller coaster ride with all of these things that's been going on, and I think the time has got to come for us to start listening to our constituents.
Well, let me say this, if I may. We do listen to our constituents. What we typically hear are the people who don't like something. The people who like it don't typically come out and talk to us by the time we get to this stage. So, from my standpoint, rather than saying no or yes, how much of if I may, Mr. North, how much of the school budget is reliant this year on this transaction occurring?
The budget that the council passed calls for $13 million to come from the sale of property. The school board has declared surplus 4 pieces of property. This is one of them.
Right.
Those total $5.4 million, I believe.
Of the 13.
Of the 13. That's the total.
If you got,
If you get, don't get more. If you get exactly neither less nor more than the appraised value, it would be 5.4. And this is 720,000 of that.
And that's still not gonna get us where they need to be in terms of their money. And I don't like the fact that we're so dismissive, because I don't necessarily agree that we don't hear from those people because they are for it. We only hear from those that are against it. I think that's presumptuous for us to say, because it's not necessarily true in all situations. So,
in a lot they are, so.
well, that may be so, but nonetheless, I have concerns with this, and I think even the councilman, I'm not sure, because I thought that he was not for it, and now he is for it. So I'm just, it's just been
Hastings.
would I be able to, what I would like to do, if I may, is to bring a motion for indefinite deferral.
Can I ask a couple of questions before we
Yes, go ahead.
vote on the motion? Well, we can move the motion for.
Yeah, that's fine. So, yeah, we can move that, and then, so your question, I'm assuming it would be on the deferral?
Well, it would be relevant.
Okay,
So,
all right.
Chris, you guys can handle the sale of this? Are you guys going to put it out on bid and handle the sale?
Yes, the plan.
Is there going to be a minimum that you require for people to bid on
I'm going
this?
to defer to Kim McDaniel for the minimums.
Our policy is to discount 20% of appraised value to start the bidding. So there's, that would be $576,000.
So
as a
you-
required opening bid.
So you wouldn't take any amount in the bids less than 500 and what?
$576,000.
But if that's all you got, then it's a potential it could sell for that.
That is correct.
How large is this property?
It's 11.7 acres.
It's a big property.
Property for
I'm going to tell you how I fall on this. Everybody makes, Councilman Withers and Councilman Hurt, they make good points, and I certainly feel pretty strongly against the sale of public land for these kinds of issues. However, I will qualify that we're in a different time. We are facing some pretty serious budget problems with respect to meeting our operating budget obligations. We didn't give the school board what they wanted last year. We were a little short in that end. And I'm having to support some sales of public property now that I don't really want to, namely the Green Hills Fire Station. I've spoken out against that for years, and now I've sort of held my nose and voted to support this because we are in some difficult times, which I think we were in last year, and we also are in this year. So, I hear what you're saying about the constituents. I'm going to rely on the district council member and his support. It's somewhat compelling in that he's the one who hears from the people most directly affected by this. I've heard from people who support it and from some people who don't. So all that to say, it's a tough one for me, but considering where we are and the fact that the school board, this amount of money would be significant to them, I don't know where we're going to make it up, frankly. And I don't want to pull from a source where we potentially have, some issues getting COLAs to our employees. That's a very important thing to us. So I don't want to lose any source of money that we have. I think moving forward, we can think of a better way to do business than this, but we are in a pretty difficult trick bag now. So for those reasons, I'm going to support this, and I probably will vote against the indefinite deferral motion, although I completely understand where you're coming from.
Too. I might take base of the position that you take, and I appreciate where you guys are coming from. But, watching TV the other night when they had the teachers on there talking about, everything was about revenue. But we don't have enough counselors. We don't have, in the classes and that kind of thing. So we've got to some kind of way find a way to fund schools.
Yeah, but we had something. We had a bill on the last year that we could have funded the schools that we voted down.
Okay, well, let's stay on this one. Let's stay on this particular
we can
bill.
come back to that.
Yeah, and I agree with you 100%. That's,
All I'm
we
going to
keep
say is
bringing that back up.
With my indefinite deferral motion, all I'm saying is it gives us more time to keep thinking about it. That's all I'm saying, is it gives us a little bit more time for this specific property,
Exactly.
which has some unique features, gives us some more time to keep thinking about it. If we come up with a solution, like I said, I've reached out to community members to see about getting a land trust to purchase it, or a wealthy individual, or someone where we can have some assurances for the community. And I just think that for this particular property, it'd be a shame to lose this property with this many features for, frankly, less than what someone would pay for a half a tall skinny in my district. I mean, I just feel like that's a huge loss for a really small amount of money.
I
For the
think you're
schools.
making an assumption that it's only going to sell for $500,000. It might sell for $2 million.
And it might not.
Sure, like bring me a wealthy buyer that wants to turn it into a private estate and put some restrictions on it to protect the environmental features. I'd be fine with that. All I'm saying with my indefinite deferral motion is I want some more time to explore those options actively, because I had not been satisfied with the property disposition process that we've had so far.
And I think that makes sense.
Well, why not defer it then for a particular period of time?
Yeah, I wonder if we
Rather
could do
than
more like
indefinitely.
start with a meeting and
Two
then
meetings.
see, or 2 meetings and see.
Well, if you did one meeting, let me make sure I'm correct on this. If we did that by Rule 24, then it's automatically deferred tonight on the floor because one of the committees has recommended that. Is it correct? So, I mean, it's the committee's decision here, but, because if it's deferred indefinitely by the committee, then they can bring it back basically with the same type of move. Sorry. Yes, Mr. Harmon.
If it's been deferred once by virtue of committee, I think it was deferred previously, but by virtue of the floor vote, not a committee vote. I'll have to double check that. But the committee one meeting deferral is automatic only one time.
Okay. And
Is there going to be enough time for us to really explore and get more information that we need? It doesn't seem like an adequate amount of time for there to be more information.
2 meetings?
For safety, Mr. Jameson, if we recommend indefinite deferral, and then the sponsor wants to bring it back, obviously if it's deferred indefinitely on the floor, then all the sponsor has to do is to let the clerk know, and it's back on the agenda.
Correct.
Okay.
What are your thoughts about kicking it down the road a meeting or two?
Well, the school board has already said they don't need this property, right? So it has been declared surplus. If it goes too far down the road, and it's not closed by July 1st, then it won't be a part of this operating budget, which is what it is.
Whether you want to use it,
Which is what's needed from the budget that the council has.
And the sale process is about a 3-month process.
So we're sitting on top of that right now.
Just sit there and not do anything.
Unless you got a buyer that comes in and offers you.
That's correct.
Right.
That's correct.
Yeah, I would say maybe we should do a 1 meeting, just reassess, see what the what the, I don't know if we're gonna have any floor discussion if we do one meeting or no. I mean, I'd kinda like to know.
If we do one meeting, there's no floor discussion, is my
Let me
understanding.
double check. I know this was deferred once. I just thought that was deferred by virtue of the floor vote, not the committee vote.
So then if it was, would a one meeting deferral still have floor discussion or no? Could we have?
Because the committee, the one meeting deferral that's automatic by committee, you only get that one time under 20.
No.
And if I may comment on that, last time during my comments on the floor, one of the reasons why I wanted and supported the deferral, which the lead sponsor supported, but one of the reasons that I did is because I wanted to know how do we actually get it to parks. There's a lot of interest in getting it to parks. I wanted to know what that process is. How do we formally get it to parks? Because the Parks Board hadn't taken a stance on it. And could we potentially have parks purchase it from schools using the land acquisition funds, which I understand do have a balance. And so that would get it to parks. It would, I mean, that's my thought, is does it get some revenue between departments? And I just
Get it to parks and get you all the money you need.
In checking with parks, they say that they don't have the funding for this.
So if it sells, is it gonna fix the problem that we have with,
Not all of it, but it'll fix some of it.
Well,
Well,
it's going to leave us a problem to deal with if it doesn't, if we don't, if we disapprove this, we'll have a $720,000 problem.
We've got,
$500,000 made back.
I mean, we've got an $8 million problem that we still have, and what's
There we go.
700,000
But I
at
didn't go
$8 million? I mean, that's what I'm looking at.
Yeah, they would.
We got
I'm not trusting that they would. I mean, what it can do and what it actually
I
does.
think they're gonna do what, I mean, we'd have to trust the school system that they're gonna do what helps them make the schools better. I don't know. You
Yeah,
can't tell them what to
fill the
do.
But
budget.
they saying it's our fault. You know, it's saying it's our fault that they're not doing what and having.
Sure, I'm,
Well,
you know, as far as the
they're saying
numbers,
they're
I'm
not
gonna
adequate
abstain,
funding,
so you
and I
can
agree with that.
Okay,
I'm brutally in the middle on this because I've got neighborhood people hitting me
Yeah.
up, but
Yeah.
I know we need the money for schools, so if I abstain.
let's do this because we have an indefinite deferral motion on the floor. Was it seconded? Okay, it's been seconded. All in favor of indefinite deferral? Aye. No?
no.
All right, so ayes, raise your hand, please. All right, noes? All right, so it failed. And you're abstaining? Okay.
Make a motion for a one meeting deferral.
All right, one meeting deferral. Mr. Jameson, I know Joseph is on his way to find out if we've done that.
Clerk is looking.
Do we create?
She's looking for the minutes.
Okay, thank you. Do we create somewhat of a dilemma if we defer it one meeting?
No, you can still-
We're okay? Okay. All right, so we have that motion. Do we have a second on that? One meeting, okay, so it's been seconded. All in favor of one meeting deferral? Aye. Opposed?
I vote.
Okay, 2 no,
And
and
I'll support a one meeting.
okay, we got 3. Okay, so one meeting.
What did you do with that too?
Oh, you are, okay, I'm sorry.
One meeting deferral.
Yeah, the one meeting deferral.
Okay, so we have 4, and we
You
have
was
2.
five.
No, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 2.
He didn't vote no.
Yeah, he did. Yeah,
Oh,
he
you were
voted
against
no.
something. Okay, I thought you.
Okay, I think that's everything. Thanks, folks. We are adjourned.
Appreciate it. Well done.
Good discussion.